Hey, what's up? Me and my unapologetically large and in charge hair today would like to talk to you. This has been kind of a crazy, awesome day today, I'm not gonna lie. And I've been feeling really wackadoodle ever since Wendy K gave me a reading, to be honest. Look that bitch up, because she's incredible. I'm gonna do an actual testimonial for her soon. She's wicked, amazing, incredible. So Wendy K. Hi, Jessie. She's amazing. Get a reading from her. She actually talks to the dead, so that's kind of cool. That wasn't why I was wanting to get a reading from her, but my grandpa did come through, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I drove today. That's the one big main thing I want to talk about today. I didn't drive by myself necessarily, but we drove to the store, which was the drive that I did the first time that I panicked. I didn't have a panic attack, but I panicked. And I attempted the drive one more time and made it like 5. Oh, no. My internet is absolutely freaking atrocious here, you guys, so I just apologize. It's like so bad. So I'll sit over here where it's hot in the apartment. So anyway, I attempted the drive. I drove like 5 minutes, and then I attempted it again and made it like 7.5 minutes, I think. And then I went with Lisa, right? I did that drive with Lisa, and we went together. My hair is so big today. Went together. Hi, Coral. Hi, Ashley. And then I haven't been since. It's been like a week. And then today I was like, well, we need groceries. Lisa's not going to be back until like Tuesday. And I need groceries and stuff. So the nanny's here. Her name is Nicole. I love Nicole. She's great. She's a local here. And so I asked her yesterday, I'm like, we need to get groceries. Do you mind if we go? And I actually drive. And I said, I think I just need to get my brain, like in the physical sense, like even though I know I won't panic with somebody else in the car, I need to physically like drive and do it myself to like go through the motions of that. She's like, oh yeah, of course. I love her. So we did. And I was scared. I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking terrified pretty much the whole time. What's interesting though, it's starting to click. I watched actually listened to this podcast the other day about agoraphobia. So I was laying in here staring at the ceiling. I've just been feeling really weird. I know a lot of people have for the full moon and Pluto in retrograde, and it's just a lot of dark, heavy stuff coming up, and I'm not to be spared from that. And so I've been feeling really weird. And the other day I was just like, okay, what do I want to do? I guess I'll listen to a podcast about agoraphobia and see if there's any tips and tricks in there, because I'm just obsessed with like learning everything about it. And of course it was the guy who talked about how he calls it recovered from agoraphobia, which I don't quite agree with. I feel like when you say you recover from something, it means you have something like a disease. I don't believe that agoraphobia is a disease. I think it's a mental experience that we have, but I don't attach it to myself. So I didn't really agree with that. But he has people on his program, on his podcast, that talk about how they've done his techniques and his things, and how they don't really, if they have them, it doesn't even bother them, or they have them hardly ever. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what this is all about. So basically it's the same exact thing that I teach, which is learning how to relax into it and allow yourself to just feel what's coming up and not attach yourself to it. And it's easier said than done, of course. And then what the guy that was interviewing said, as well as him, is that at some point you start to realize that like this really can't hurt you. It's not going to actually do the thing you're afraid it's going to do. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to actually pass out from it. These bad things aren't going to happen. And once your brain clicks with that, it's almost like you just go, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go and live my life. And if I have one, oh fucking well, I know what it's going to be. And I just remember listening to that being like, okay, wow. I'm at that point where I totally agree with that. Just my body hasn't quite connected with that yet. Well, today in the car, I remember my heart starting to beat really fast. I've been doing a lot of meditations where they're just mindfulness meditations, meaning that I literally set a timer. I put the phone on the other side of the room so I can't look at the timer to see how much time I have left, which I do all the time, so that I can stay present. And I just stare at the wall. Hi, Allison. Hi, Anthony. I stare at the wall, or I stare at a leaf that's outside. I have absolutely beautiful beautiful things to see outside, right? So I stare outside, I do whatever, and for those like 13, 10 minutes, whatever it is I've decided to do. And I just stay there, and I just stay in the moment. And so when I was driving today, I noticed myself as I would say, okay, slow down. That's what I was telling myself, just slow down. Slow down, stay here, stay in the moment, slow down. And so I was doing that, but then also I remember hearing myself in my head go, oh, my heart's beating really fast, and I can still drive. It was like, oh, I can feel anxiety and still drive. I can feel my heart beating fast because that's what it's supposed to do, and I can still drive and still deal with it and still be here. And it was weird how my body just almost had like a almost, I wouldn't say disassociation because that's an anxiety like fear, right? But it's more like a witness of what was happening. All of a sudden I just kind of barely separated it up to be like, oh, this is what's happening in my body, and I can still drive forward. I can experience all of this and I can still drive forward. And that was a separation I've not had yet. That was really, really like, whoa, it's like eye-opening and clearing and healing for me, because I was like, oh my gosh. Then when we were at the store, we had the AC on and the what do you call it? The van. The van had the AC and the kids were in the van. And we were sitting, me and the nanny were sitting outside waiting for the barbecue to get done, because in Hawaii they have this awesome thing where you can get barbecue freaking teriyaki chicken that will blow your mind while you're sitting in the parking lot, right? And so we were waiting. It was a good 20 minutes of waiting. And the kids, we could see the van. It was like only like 3 or 4 cars parked, and it was at the front, so we could see everything. Anyways, the 8-year-old really freaked out, I guess, with us not being in the car, and we didn't know. She was so scared to go outside because there were people all around the car. And she's an empath, like a deep empath. Heather, I'm going to answer your question here in a minute. So when I got in the car, she was bawling her eyes out. She was freaked out, and she's an empath. So these people walking around the car and touching the car, she became scared and became like almost paralyzed in her fear. And so when we went to drive home, I was like, first of all, I made sure to look her in the eyes and be like, you are safe, you are okay, and this will not happen again because we won't let you out of our sight next time. And I'm sorry that you were scared to even just like, hi, is it Tasha? Tasha. Is it Tasha? I want to say it right. Maybe you can type it the way it actually sounds, girl. Miss Moon. I think it's Tasha, but I just want to make sure. Anyways, yeah, so I said, that will not happen to you again. You are okay. You are safe. And of course, she was like full on crying, not like you're like, 8-year-old whiner, right? Like she was like full on terrified. And I could see it in her eyes as she really thought that something bad was going to happen to her. And so on the drive home, I told her, I was like, just to let you know, I was terrified on the way here. But guess what? We can be scared and we can do hard things and we can still move forward and we can not allow it to get stuck in our bodies, and we can remind ourselves that we're safe. And it's okay for you to feel the fear. It's okay for you to be scared and cry and feel all the things. But guess what? That's not actually the truth. You are okay. You are safe. And me telling her these things actually helped calm me down and get back into my body. And I told her, I'm like, you're an empath. This is really hard for you. I understand. And it just helped me to get back in my body as well. So it's interesting how that happens, right? Heather. Oh, Heather, have you ever tried singing or humming? Vagus nerve stimulation, how I got through childbirth. Yes, I've tried singing. I've tried humming. My issue is when I'm really in that panicked state or when I'm starting to feel anxiety, it's like any amount of that type of thing actually makes my heart beat faster. So then I start to feel more anxiety and the blood rushes to my head, because when you're singing, right, you're like using your breath in a way that is kind of holding your breath in some aspects. When you're humming, it's kind of the same thing for me. It just doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. I have to literally tell myself to slow down. I have to picture my blood literally flowing super slow. I have to literally like picture everything in slow motion, just slowing way the fuck down, right? Because I'm super fast. And when I'm feeling anxious, I want the car to go faster. I want to get there faster. I'm thinking about how far I have to go. Then I have to turn around. How far do I have to go back? And it just, all that fastness just does this, right? So really, really, really making myself just slow down, relax into it, and just, get there. So but this was a big deal for me. I feel like I really shifted something today, like big time. Good imagery. Oh, thanks, Heather. So I feel like I shifted something big time. So yeah, I'm super excited, super proud of myself, excited for the next drive, to be honest. Now that I'm just kind of like, I feel like something clicked when I was like, oh, I can have my heart beat fast and still be okay. Like, it's okay for my heart to do that. Like, that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to be fast. It's meant to be hard. And this is exhilarating and anxiety producing in some aspects right now, and that's okay. And that was really just such a space of like control for me. Like, oh, I still have control while I'm feeling these emotions. And it just kept it at a level where it didn't escalate to all that panic, right? It like almost just gave it permission to just kind of be at that level, and it didn't feel the need to go any further. And I was fine. So yeah. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about is I started a podcast about this called Free From Fear. And I did not plan on doing any of the episodes. I still don't until after I move to Maui, which will be in June. But then I have these just incredibly amazing, incredible conversations with my high vibe women. And it's usually Lauren, Jacqueline, Rhea, Becca, Erica. Those are pretty much the 5 women that I talk to on a regular basis. Rhea and I don't talk on a huge regular basis, but we've had some really great conversations. But the other women I talk to on a pretty regular basis, and every time we talk, it's like, why the fuck aren't we recording these? Like, why are we not recording these? We manifest every time we talk. We're channeling our guides every time we talk. It's funny. It's raw. It's really personal. It's sometimes angry and then sad and all the things. And I'm just like, why aren't we recording these things? And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. So I started a podcast, another podcast, called Conversations with High Vibe Women. And I've already contacted, I think there's like 6 or 7 women who I've already contacted, who are going to be scheduling spots with me starting next week. So I'm super, super excited about that because it's going to be the same conversations. Of course, with personal things, they may use fake names for themselves or the people they're talking about, which is totally fine. But I'm super excited to share it. I'm super excited to see what comes through because we don't only just get messages for ourselves from our guides, we get messages for the fucking collective and the things that are going on. So there's always something to be benefited by. There's always big aha moments whenever I talk to these women. Like, it's not like a normal conversation with a person. Like, it is huge, huge, huge high vibrational stuff that is just literally changes the trajectory of us as well as the planet every time we have conversation. I mean, talking every time. It's incredible. So yeah, that'll be on Spotify. In fact, it's on Spotify. I did a trailer. If you guys want to see the trailer, let me know. I'll give you the link. It's only like 52 seconds. And it's not a video. It's just me talking about what it is I'll be doing on there. But anyways, that's starting next week. And I'm super excited about that. Also, if you guys have ever wanted to start a podcast, but you're kind of like, how the fuck do I do this? Anchor, ANCHOR.FM. That's F as in Frank, M as in Mary. So .anchor.fm is super, super easy. Everything's done through the app. It's the easiest shit. Anything you see, I've done on it. Even the trailer that I did is all through them. I'm super not, like, I'm tech savvy, but not when it comes to editing things. So the fact that I could do this and it looks super professional is like, blows my mind. So if you've ever wanted to start a podcast, it's super easy to get on Spotify. They literally just go, oh, do you want this on Spotify? And you go, yes. And they just put it on their Apple Music. It'll be on. All kinds of things. So if you've ever wanted to do it, it's super easy. You do it right from your phone. Also, to get people on the podcast, they have this cool thing. So when you go to record, it says invite friends, and you push that button. It gives you a link that you can share to anybody, and they will just automatically come and be on the podcast. You can record up to 5 people at a time, and it's free. The whole thing's fucking free. It just blows my mind. And you can get paid for doing like commercials, basically. I already did my first one. Every time somebody listens and hears this thing, which is basically what I just said, just me going, hey, you want to have a podcast? This is what happens, blah, blah, blah. They'll pay me $15 every time somebody fucking listens to that ad or every time it's played. What? Like, what? It's blowing my mind right now. So I'm super excited about all the stuff that's happening. And still planning on moving to Maui in June. And I'm not going to talk about it in this call, but I plan on doing it probably next week also, or maybe this Sunday, probably this Sunday. I had a reading done by Wendy Kay, and it blew up in my whole fucking world. I thought I was going to get a reading of just like confirmations of like shit I already fucking knew because I'm a psychic and I know a lot about myself and I'm tuned in, like super tuned, tapped in. No. Bitches, no. It blew my fucking world open. And so I literally had a full week of detox happening because of this reading. And she told me that was what was going to happen, and I didn't quite believe her, and then all the shit started happening, and I was like, oh, my bad. I guess it's true. So anyways, I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to do a video testimonial for her as well, because she's just amazing. She's on my friends list. Her name is Wendy Kay, and she's incredible. She talks to the dead. That was not the reason why I contacted her, but my grandpa did come through, which is kind of cool. So if you're looking for somebody to do a reading, her readings are $165 for an hour. It's totally reasonable considering what she does and how she's been doing it for like 12 or 18 years or something insane. And her energy is incredible, and you will love her. So anyways, I just wanted to briefly talk about that because that was also part of the reason why I believe I haven't been able to feel super confident about driving. Or I was going to drive the other day and I just had this message like, that's not important. You don't need to do any of that. Don't quit trying to force yourself. Just fucking stay home. The moon's crazy wacko energy right now. The Pluto's in retrograde. Mercury goes into retrograde end of fucking May. We have a portal opening on May 5th because it's 555, which 555 means life changes. Uranus actually is how you're supposed to say it. Uranus is also in retrograde or is in fucking squared up with the sun or some crazy shit. And it's just a lot the next month, you guys. So be nice to yourselves. Have compassion for yourselves. Do what you want. Say what you want. And if that includes not talking or staying silent in the sense of like pulling back from everybody's energy and staying hidden, then do so. And if it means blasting off and being shitty, then that's also okay. Also, on top of that, you may have some people around you who are exploding like crazy, like just pulling out all the stops of crazy, okay, maybe attacking you from all aspects and angles, and just know that it's just pulling out a lot of dark stuff from people, you guys. It's purging. We're in a purge, and June's going to be incredible and amazing because of this purge. So just try to have a different reaction to the things that are triggering you. That's the only way that they shift. Have a different reaction. Say, I surrender. I let go to everything you cannot control right now, including your emotions and wanting to be certain places and in specific places. I know I'm having a really hard time with feeling like I'm not doing enough for my business. Like I'm not starting my detox probably beginning the month of May. Good luck with that, Coral, considering everything that's happening. You're probably going to be detoxing emotionally as well, because that also happens in a physical detox. We know all the emotions come up too from that. But what was I saying? Fuck, I don't remember what I just said. Anyways, I guess it wasn't important. So that's all I really wanted to say, you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for your support and your love. And we will talk soon. Okay, bye.